Yeah, we'll start with the running because obviously I know you've been smashing the running, and you've been doing incredible. So how long have you been running for now? When did you start?
2 years now.
2 years.
2 years solidly, yeah.
And now you've got to run from Sixfields to Stoke.
Yes.
And it's a 3-day long one.
Yeah.
So talk me through that. What's that going to be like?
So it's 3 days. It's 81 miles split over 3 days, and it's a marathon a day basically. And on the last day, it's 30 miles. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but I'm doing it to raise some money for suicide prevention. And then I've teamed up with a charity called Men's Minds Matter. And yeah, it's just basically giving back to people that have helped me, and also for a cause that is very, very close to my heart. So yeah. But we'll see how I get on. I'm going to train for it. I'm going to work hard, but I've never done anything like that before.
So what's the longest one you have done?
A marathon, but only one. I've done 2, but not in consecutive days. So
what's with the 3 days? Are you camping? Or are you staying in hotels? What's that like? I'm guessing you can't be running full on every.
No. So it's 3. It's first day is from here to about Coventry, in line with Coventry, and then we're staying over, and then from there, I think we go just past Birmingham, and then we're staying over, and then from there to the stadium, which we're going to finish there, and then hopefully finish there anyway. But yeah, I'll give it a good go. I mean, I run with some really talented people, and yeah, I'm nowhere near the best or the quickest, but yeah, this is what I'd like to get done. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you'll smash it as well.
That's it.
So I probably would start with why. So you said 2 years ago you started running.
Yep.
So what got you into that?
I fell on some hard times, and I found it as a very, very useful coping mechanism. It just clears your head. It just makes everything that little bit better and lighter. And yeah, everyone says obviously it's the opposite to drugs. It makes you feel bad during and then brilliant after, and it's so true, so true. But yeah, don't quote me on that. That's not my quote. That's not my quote. So yeah,
that's okay. So what have you learned about yourself through running?
Just about when you feel like giving up, you've got so much more in you. That's probably the biggest thing. Like your mind is telling you to give up every second on that run, and you're not going to. And that's mental toughness, and it built that for me.
Yeah.
Through running, which is mental. But then I got to enjoy it, and I think that's probably what I enjoy about it. The fact that it makes me feel strong, feel free, and obviously fitness at the end of the day. And I see it as like it's a bit like meditating. I lose myself in it. It's freedom. So
just fully focused on the present moment, which is where you want to be as well.
Yeah.
I guess that's why it helps with the mind as well.
Yeah, 100%.
You're not focusing about anything else. It's why with gym, when you're lifting a shitload of weights, you're not going to be focusing on what's going on around you. You're going to be like, shit, I need to get these weights off me, or running, I need to get to where I need to get.
That's it.
So how often do you go running then? I know we spoke about it earlier, but how often per week would you say you meant to go running for?
3 to 4 times a week. I mean, when I've not got anything to train for, probably I'll go out when I like to.
Yeah.
Currently injured at the minute, but I'll be back, especially for that run. It's going to be a lot of training. But yeah, 3 to 4 times a week. And then if I'm training for something, but just stick to 4. You got to stick to 4. So yeah. And I've got coaches that help me with that. And that was probably the biggest and best thing I've done. And I've still kept that going even when I'm injured, because if I didn't, I wouldn't get back on it. I just wouldn't get back on it.
Yeah.
And they're brilliant, a great group. So yeah.
So they're motivating you, or do you reckon you're more disciplined about it because you just enjoy it so much?
I'd say they keep you definitely accountable.
Yeah.
And they put you in the right direction for the goals that you want to achieve, because I wouldn't have a clue how to do half the things I've done. So yeah, I think a bit of both. They definitely keep you accountable. They'll message you or whatever and say, well, what's going on? Or so it's good.
Have you ever thought about doing a Tough Mudder?
I haven't actually thought about that. Do you know what? It's more it's the obstacles I don't think I'd enjoy. I'm not really the gym man. But
no, I was going to say, because that's the only thing comparing wise I can think about, because I'm not a huge fan of running per se. Gym's fine. I can do with cardio as well. I can do it in the gym or jump rope, or I go rock climbing as well, which I think. But with the Tough Mudder, that's like we did 15K, and it's not obviously nothing like the marathon or anything like that, but it's just
still an achievement though.
Yeah, and it's just enjoying it as well. That's what I thought about.
Yeah.
Because I thought if I just did a run, for me personally, it's not for me.
No,
just I
wouldn't enjoy it.
No. Although the achievement I would want, because I've done that run. I've done it. I know I can do it.
Yeah.
And the mindset as well, like saying, I can't give up now. I can't give up. I'll keep going. But it was just, I think like just the obstacles as well. It was just fun. Yeah. And obviously, some people didn't do all of them. Yeah. You can skip some stuff like that. But I feel like if I'm there, I've got to do it all.
Cool.
But I definitely do at some point next year, because I have been talking about it. I do want to try and give it a go. Just one marathon. Just seeing how I get on with it. Yeah. Because I feel like,
I think it's one of them life goals, isn't it? That everyone's sort of wants to do. Doing it is a different thing, but it's universally known as like a tough thing to do. I mean, there's people out there doing crazy stuff. Like we've seen so many people do some incredible challenges. And I'd like to, that's why I want to do what I'm going to do, because it's like I don't know. It's the toughness. I'm looking for, it's a challenge. That's the whole point. It is going to be a challenge. And I'd like to see how I deal with that. And it's only going to take me further in every walk of life after that. So that's the plan. But I definitely recommend doing one. Be the best thing you ever do. Best thing you ever do.
That's the thing. I wouldn't want, I know I train for it, but I always see sometimes with people, they walk them or like partially walk. But for me, I like, if I'm going to do it.
You don't want to stop.
I have to keep going. I want to at least jog, run, do what I need to do, but I can't walk it. No part of me wants to. Because I've seen, like with the Tough Mudder, even though that's 15K, I've seen some people walking it. I was like, this is like a challenge. Like the marathon, it's a challenge. You want to test yourself, test your abilities. And walking is just, it's just not going to do it for you. I think.
Well, I think it's, you don't know how you're going to deal with it until you're there. It's them last six miles. That's when it's like, right, we've got still a long way to go, but your body is just, in complete agony. But I would do it again. And obviously I'm going to do it again, but it does take it out of you. It's the training that takes it out of you. It's a lot of discipline for quite a long period, from probably 12 to 16 weeks of just pure running. Yeah. Not going out, not doing anything other than running. So, man. Yeah.
But I think you need that discipline as well. In some form of your life, you need to have that discipline.
Yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
with you, as you mentioned, like with your body can sometimes be in agony, but your mind's like, no, you need to do this. You have that discipline.
Yeah.
So, I got off. I don't know if you're
No. I was just going to say, if sort of the whole thing, do it tired, do it, all them emotions, do it with that, which I struggle to do. But that's the whole point, because you're running on tired legs. And that's what it's training you for them last few miles,
So for someone, even like myself, for someone who wants to get into running, what advice would you give them?
I'm
not
qualified to say that, but I would say definitely look into getting some form of mentor or a coach or a club, just a casual club. Yeah. Just that will get you sort of the ball rolling. And then, but I think the main thing is, the only thing that I am qualified to say is just get out the door and go for a run. Yeah. Literally, just get out that door, put on your shoes, and there's no real magic to it. Just run. Yeah. Just run. Yeah.
No, fair play. And obviously, we've talked about sort of why you wanted to do it as well, and like the mental strength as well, taking control of your mind. So obviously, I wanted to get into your journey a bit more, especially with mental health, as we talked about, because we've talked about working out and exercise, and how, for me personally, and from what I found with mental health, how exercise does more for you than any antidepressant will. Because a strong body is a strong mind. And I think if you're just taking the antidepressants or any sort of medication, you're just covering the symptoms. You're not getting to the root cause of it. And it's just, you're going to be stuck on that cycle forever without actually realizing why you feel the 100%. Way you do. And it's something that I talked, when you mentioned about earlier, sort of reminded me of this quote that I've got from Chris Williamson, which is, trying to think your way out of overthinking is trying to sniff your way out of a cocaine addiction. And it's like, you can't change the mind with the mind. You have to change.
Yep.
You have to change. You can't change the mind with the mind. You have to change it with the body first. And like you said before, like going for a walk or a run will do way more for your mood than sitting and thinking about whatever it is you're dealing with. And so, like you say, if you're struggling with mental health or anything like that, you sort of need a form of physical practice, like running, exercise, gym.
Yeah.
So
And addictions as well. It helps with addictions.
Yeah. I wanted to say now, if we can get into your, because I know it's been like 5, I don't know how many years it's been when we last spoke about it, but I want to get into your mental health journey and where it all began, if that's
of course
right.
it is. Yeah. Of course you can. That's a good quote as well, by the way. So I think I was 16 when it's about Christmas time, literally a couple of weeks from now, about 16. Didn't quite know the root cause until recently. And then I took quite a large overdose. And then that was pretty tough on everyone around me, as well as me, but mainly everyone around me. And that disrupted quite a lot for the next couple of years. And at the age that I was 16. So I was 16, took 54 paracetamol, completely battered the liver. I lost loads of weight. I wish I'd have found running back then, to be fair. But so that's what happened. And then from there, because of the age I was at, you don't really get a choice about what methods have helped you because you're under CAMS, which is Child and Mental Health Services. So you don't get a choice of what tablet you take or what people you speak to because your voice isn't quite valued just yet. And my family obviously really did try and support me, but I don't think anyone knew what to do at that time. I got wrongly diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Because I say wrongly, I mean, everyone's got anxiety and I think most people have got depression, but I didn't get diagnosed with what I have got now at the time, which is EUPD, emotionally unstable personality disorder. Just means that you're basically very sensitive about things that probably wouldn't bother someone else, but it would probably bother you to a point where you wouldn't even be able to deal with it. So it's like, And then from there, it was quite turbulent at home because, again, I was probably no angel, and I was quite frustrated with how things were going. And then I moved out, and from there was a couple of times where I tried to take my own life again, just through the fact of being on my own and not having great support, follow-up support from those services. Not even sure if I'd want the follow-up support, to be honest, but there wasn't, it felt like a never-ending thing that these feelings just weren't going to go away. And that was pretty tough. And then a couple of years ago, I think it was 3 years ago now, had a few problems with a partner, and I tried taking my own life again. This time was quite serious. I tried jumping off a car park, and I don't think I really ever wanted to do it. I think, and that's the fact that I think I went live on Instagram. I don't actually remember that, but been told, obviously. And then, that happened. And then from there, I got put into. It wasn't sectioned. We were just speaking about that, wasn't we? It wasn't sectioned. I got put into somewhere. It was like a break house, so you get a week there.
Right.
But it had some strange rules because someone who's trying to harm themselves, if you harm yourself again in there, you get kicked out and don't get the help.
That's weird.
So it was pretty strange because obviously and they don't come up to you and check on you, and you self-medicate in there. They don't come up to you and check on you. You have to go up to them. So which seemed pretty strange considering the one who needs help. But I didn't quite understand it. Maybe I didn't understand the rules, but I wasn't in a headspace to do that. And then from there, my parents, again, it's nothing on them. They've supported me massively, but I don't think they could deal with it, and which is fully fair enough. It was complete chaos, and I got made. It was made homeless. And then I was in a guest house, which was pretty tough. So it was quite a big shift from obviously having a business, running that, about to have a daughter, and then ended up in a guest house, no business. So that's where running came in. And then started running, got myself out of the guest house, got myself into a flat, got back to work. And I was just had to hold my head high and made so many mistakes along that way, held my head high and got back into work and yeah, just built it back up. And 3 years later, that brings us to now. So yeah.
Mate,
but there was a lot of mistakes, especially in that healing process. And yeah, I had to sit with a lot of things, and I read some amazing books that saved my life completely, and just changed the way I think, instead of just having that victim mindset. And I just changed that completely. And I still make the mistakes today. I still deal with the addictions. I still deal with the PTSD of everything that went on. And yeah, it's a healing thing. None of that's going to go away. It's just how you deal with it, man.
Yeah.
And that's that. But I'm happy to talk about it, which feels nice. Yeah. I ain't spoke about it like that in a long time. So yeah.
I think like the mistakes as well, because you've been like, that's, yeah, really like, it's tough. It sounds really tough as well.
Yeah.
Going through all of that, and obviously the way you're feeling and everything. I think with the mistakes, it's everything that's happened to you though has led to where you are now. And like, you've come an incredible way. Like this journey you've had, it's been like, you should be like, I know you're still going through it now. And like you say, it's never ending journey. It's never ending process. But I think you got to look back to where you've come from to where you are now. And like, you can be really proud of that. I think it's been incredible. Like you say, with the mistakes you've made, like what sort of mistakes do you think they are? Like, what are the mistakes?
Well, letting a lot of people down, spreading myself thin, agreeing to things that I'm trying to please everyone, and then just completely letting them down. Overworking, definitely overworking. And then the next day, just letting people down again. I say that I lost my business because of everyone else. That was all due to me. I just wouldn't show up, just couldn't face it. And after all that, it was tough to walk back in there in a room full of lads, you know what I mean? It was tough, but we've done it and we're here now. And, you know, I still let the odd person down, but if I'm doing 90% of the task in front of me, I'm happy. So, yeah.
Do you reckon with the overworking, that was to push out any thoughts?
100%. That was like an obsessed dealing with it in the complete wrong way. And I was oversharing completely, like all day long with people, completely oversharing about things. And that is a mistake again, because this, you know, the town's pretty small and people talk, and that didn't help. And now, as your book there says, stoic, I deal with things on my own. If I have a cry and need to let out them emotionally unstable thoughts, then I do it on my own, and then when I come back to work, I'm professional. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's about sitting with things, really thinking about them, letting them hurt you, and then go back to the real world and get out there and then not put a brave face on, but just deal with that on your own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like that's the same as well. I've not had nowhere near the same sort of experiences you have, but like especially through COVID as well, is where it's sort of like a turning point for me, is like a massive turning point for me, where I had to deal with a lot of emotions and stuff like that, going through.
I think everyone did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just trying to figure out what's the next step for me, because obviously different people had different situations and everything, but it was sort of like people say, like the lonely chapter, where I was just like on my own, like in my own head, like didn't have really, I had people, like you say, you have people around you, but you don't really have anyone that you could go to.
No.
And it's sort of like, I remember seeing a stat as well, like I hope I've got it here somewhere. It's like a really interesting one. Like I would talk about with like having close friends and stuff like that, people you can talk to. Like in 1990, the number of men who said they had 0 close friends was 3%. Wow. And in 2020, it was 15%. So the amount of people that, like males that don't have close friends or any like people they can't go to now, it's tripled, 5 times that. And it's really shows now, like people, men especially, obviously the women, because we're men, it's more, we're going to talk about men, we can't really talk about the female side of it, but for men, it's tough. Like you feel like you can't go and talk to other men about this sort of thing.
100%.
Is that what it was like for you going through them years? Like,
I think I felt like a freak for a lot of it. Like, especially some of the things I was just dealing with and things that would upset me. And I think, fucking hell, no man should be getting upset by that, but I am. So I just didn't really know how to deal with it. And and one thing about COVID, what was the hardest bit then for you when you said that?
So because my parents now moved away. Like my brother's
was you
not
on your
here.
own?
So partially I was for a bit, but then I lived with my uncle.
Right,
but then it was just like, even though I'm living with him, it's like I can't really talk to him about these sort of things. Just
that's
like
the thing. Yeah,
I can't really go like say, look, I'm feeling this about that, because like I've got it on here as well, like a comparison, like how women can talk to each other and there's no stigma on women.
right.
Like they can go have a cup of tea and sit and talk about their feelings, but men don't. Like men feel like, oh, I can't say that to him because he'll think I'm a little wimp. And it's like, I remember the quote as well from like Paddy the Baddy, the UFC fighter. He said, like, I would much rather my friend came to me, speak to me, cry to me, than me cry and carry his coffin a week later. Like you just get sort of stigma around men talking about their feelings and stuff like that. And it's just like,
he said that brilliantly as well. I remember that video. Yeah, he said that brilliantly.
It's so true. Like we can't, for men, it's tough. Like you do feel like other people, like you have friends there, but if you go and talk to them, do you feel like you really can express yourself with them? It's like, it's like,
true.
And that's sort of where as well, like I got into stoicism around the COVID time, where it's like, I'm the only one who has like controlled my mind, the thoughts I have, the feelings I have. As much as I can talk to other people, at the end of the day, it's on me to sort of work through them.
Yep.
And then it came to like the big point of it, which is like focusing on what I can control and letting go of what I can't. Like if something happens, do I have control over this? Yep. Okay, perfect. I can take action. Do I have control over this? And the answer is no. And it's just about letting it go.
Yeah.
I know for some people that's quite hard for them to do. Because you got to get practice it. You got to get used to it. Like with anything, if you want to get better at something, the more practice you need. But for me, it was just having no one just to talk to really about my feelings. I could work through them fine. Like I journal. I'd work through them. Yeah. Practice and gratitude really helped me as well. Just remembering the little things in life. Yeah. But it was just trying to work out what's next to me before I wanted to do all this. It was sort of like up in okay, where am I going to go now with this? And it was just rattling my head like, I need to sort of figure this out. And it was just taking that time for myself. And I was just on my own, didn't really see many friends as much as I wanted to. Yeah. Even if I did, it just like you say, just sort of putting on that brave face. It's like, I can't really talk to them about what's going on because half the time, a lot of people will just listen so they can respond. They won't actually say, try and help you. They'll just say, I know what you mean. And this is what's happened to me basically. And they'll just share their story without giving you like some advice on yours. Yeah. So it's just like, I can't really go and talk to these people as much as I like, I like them and stuff like that. They're not someone I can sort of express myself with and just sort of get everything off my chest. Yeah. So it was just trying to go through it on my own, just trying to work through them feelings, thoughts, emotions, and then just tackling them one by one. Yeah. That's why I think with me, like say with running or like gym, getting that physical exercise in, for me, it was more just getting in that present moment, especially like meditation helped a lot. Just getting in the present moment, just letting the thoughts come and go, any thoughts I had, and remembering that they're not a part of me. They're just something that I have to just process. Just that's it. Let it go through one ear and come out the other. Yep. So I want to just quickly just pass to my mind. Because you said you read quite a few books that helped you. What were the books?
2 books, both by the same person, to be fair. Rhonda Byrne. It was The Power and The Secret. So the Secret I read first, but I actually preferred The Power because it was all about looking at you. Like the book will it makes you a little bit not annoyed, but it's almost like a bit whoa, because it's telling you that whatever you've got going on in your life, you have brought that to yourself. And when you're going through some hard times, you don't want to hear that. But the best thing I've done was read it and accept it and just go in with a clear mind. And it's all about changing any relationship you've got going on, just looking at it a bit differently and finding that one thing that you can be happy about it for, and it will switch it completely. And it was just all about you, and then just changing that. So you go so far in and then you come back out and then twist it again into something positive. And it was just gave me a different way of looking at it. I've never been taught that at school, never been taught that by anyone. And then I read that and it was like, wow, this is really powerful. So and I'd say that actually, that got me back on my feet massively, oh, wow. And repaired a lot of relationships in my life, including mum, dad, brother, everything,
What was the relationship? Obviously, when you're going through everything, what was the relationship? I know you talked about them wanting to help and stuff, but what was the relationship like with them going through all of that?
Yeah,
like mum and dad in particular as well.
Yeah. It was tough. It was really tough. And I didn't make it any easier. So, because I was, at the time, I was playing the victim and I need your help. I need this. Like, you haven't done this. Whereas actually, no, I wish I'd have read that book before then, or found the running before then. And it was like, nah, they've done all they can. This is something that I had to heal with, like me. I had to deal with and heal from, and that's that. So it was like, yeah, I was being unfair. And I'm glad that I went through what I did, because now there's obviously hurdles in everyone's life now and every day, but I feel like I can probably get through most things. Yeah. So I am glad that I went through it, but the relationship was tough.
Yeah. And I know we only you mentioned this. I don't know how much you want to get into this as well, but
yeah, cool.
You said you're about a little girl you were going to have.
Yes. Yeah. I've got a daughter. She's 2.5 now. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Bonnie. Yeah.
Nice name.
I've met her a couple of times and just trying to see her again at some point. So yeah, I'm sure that will happen.
So what's the relationship, if you don't mind, what's the relationship like with the partner? Well, ex-type.
Wow. Yeah, just tricky because of everything that went on. It was just tricky. Yeah. Probably can't say too much more on that.
No, I don't want to get home.
No, you're all good. No. You're all good. I just don't want it to come against me at some point.
Yeah.
Down the line.
No, that's understandable.
Fine. No, you're all good.
But Bonnie though, that's 2.5 years. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing her. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, man.
So with obviously the way I want to talk about the way society, because you mentioned about the houses you stayed in, like the guest house as well, and then you stayed somewhere for that place in I don't know what it's called again, for a week you stayed in, like
it was like
not a safe house, but like
it's part of St Andrews,
right?
So St Crispin, sorry. So it's part of the mental health sort of act or team or whatever you'd like to call it. But I stayed there, wasn't too helpful, but obviously again, I suppose at the time I should have read their rules or whatever, because I was resulted in getting kicked out of there, and then the council actually from there put me in a hotel because I was deemed homeless, and then from there I got put in the guest house, and then from that I just had to build myself back up, and then but it just seemed a little bit strange, all of that, the process of all that.
Considering the situation you were in, the mindset you had at the time, I don't see how they can sort of expect you to sort of look at the rules, understand the rules.
Yeah.
And if you do something like to harm yourself, they kick you out. It's like the complete opposite of how it's meant to be. If they're meant to come to see, they should be coming to see you, checking on you, taking an interest in how you are in the situation you're in.
That's what I thought.
How, I don't see how that's a good idea, and the fact like how the way that system works is any good at all for anyone. It just seems sort of lazy in a way.
Yeah.
Like they just
I'd say so.
If anyone's sort of like too much trouble, right, let's get him out. Let's get someone else in who maybe maybe a bit more stable or something like that. But
the whole reason it's there is to help people who are unstable. So it just didn't make much sense.
No.
And looking back, I can't even believe it got that bad. Do you know what I mean? It's like and who I was back then, it was just complete meltdown. It was like, but God, it didn't make anything easier, put it that way. And that's the thing with when someone does try and take their own life, no one understands the rebuild. Like the rebuild is, although your thoughts and feelings are so bad before you try and do that, the rebuild is just horrible. The world looks at you so different. I think people are almost afraid to be around you because they do care about you, but they just want to know that you're going to be all right. And as soon as they know that, they do back away and they do leave you to it, and it's really hard. But because you're in that mindset and you want to end your life, you don't think about the rebuild, because why would you? You're trying to end your life. You're not going to think about those next steps after, but you do forget about it. Like, because I've tried numerous times, I forgot about it, and it is just you lose a piece every single time probably a good thing because you're losing something that you needed to, but it is hard. It is so hard. And that's why I do think talking is so important.
Definitely.
But it's talking to the right people. I've spoken to the wrong people so many times, and that's made me feel 100 times worse. 100 times worse. So, yeah.
It's like when going to like mentioned earlier, going to see someone, they misdiagnose you or something like that. Like people think that all psychiatrists, all doctors or anything like that, they're all the same, but no, you have to sort of find the right one that suits you, that understands you, that maybe have the same training or maybe have the same understanding that you've gone through. So I think even with like my dad, he's had like serious mental health problems as well. And for so many years, he was misdiagnosed, given the wrong medication. Yeah. And it just, you could see how he'll admit this as well, but it just made him worse. Getting the wrong medication for his brain.
I don't agree with medication.
No, nor does he. No. And I don't agree with it either. And nor does he now. He would, like we said before, any sort of medication will not get to the root cause of it. If you just get off it, and like I think, like we said before as well, taking control of the mind through the body, having that physical exercise, having some sort of physical discipline is going to do so much more for you than taking any sort of pill. I mean, even just going out for a walk, getting some fresh air, it's going to do so much more.
100%.
But pills, any sort of pills, no, because you don't even know, half the people that are taking them don't even know what they're taking.
Of course they don't.
They'll just see it, look at it and say, they've given it to me. They must know what it is. They must know it's good for me.
And everything. It's just,
And like the pharmaceutical companies feed off you being ill. Like that's how it is. That's how it works. Otherwise, if everyone's better, they wouldn't have any money and they'd be out of business, which they certainly don't want.
Yeah.
So I'm totally with you on there. But yeah, with my dad, he just kept getting the wrong medication. And then eventually he was like, no, fuck this. I'm being wrongly diagnosed. I'm getting the wrong medication. I just need to get off all of this.
Yeah.
And then just start.
Find your own sort of way. Which isn't easy.
Which is, no,
not
it's
easy.
not. And he's still going through it now.
Yeah.
And at his age, because it's been like trying to go through it all. It's tough. And same my brother as well, when he was going through it before, just getting off it and just start taking that control back of your life.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And you do, I don't want to be numb, but I don't want to be like, I can't explain it. I don't want to be numb on the tablets because that's what they make you do. It's like, you're just a zombie. They're just awful. But I don't want to be up and down like that. And that's what the running does. It's like, gives me that complete balance and gives me, I don't know. It settles me. I'll have thoughts in the morning and they'll be like that. And then I'll go for a run and then it will just smooth me out. Yeah, man.
Do you journal as well?
I do a bit of that.
How do you find it?
I'm not that consistent with it, but I find it helps. I do like writing, but my favorite, I prefer to do the gratitude. Yeah, because I feel like that gives me a bit more sort of, when I journal, because you're writing some bad things as well. I do struggle with that sometimes because you think, fucking hell, someone reads that, it's not good. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'd prefer to write about things that make me feel good. And maybe I need to learn from that. Maybe I need to write down the worst things because then you're dealing with it. So I'm still learning every day. That's
all we can do.
Just healing. Yeah, that's it.
It's just like you say, it's a journey. It's a process that you've got to go through.
Yeah.
I really do like the gratitude as well.
Yeah.
It really does make you remember the small things as well, the little things in life. I think some people just, like when we talk about stoicism as well, like they'll let traffic ruin their whole day or something like that. Getting stuck in traffic and they'll forget shit. Like just being grateful you have a car in the first place. 100%. You know, you're going towards a job. Like be grateful you've got the job. Be grateful that you've eaten today. You've had a shower today.
And you can find even if you've had the worst day, it's them 10 things. If you've got something, you've definitely got something. And I think that was the point that helped me when I was down there, because I still had a bed, still had food, still had water, still had shoes to go running in. So it was like, well, hang on a minute. And then you sort of just gets better and better. So yeah.
It's a nice little reminder for you.
Yes, of course it is. Yeah. That's it.
So I don't know if I did mention this as well, but like I think like a big problem with society is that we're sort of not listening to men's problems. They're like no longer, and they're sort of being dismissed. And then the men in particular are starting to feel dismissed and they're starting to feel like pushed away from society, which I feel like is a problem. So Do you feel the way society is making it worse for men? Because I feel like there's not much help. I know you found the charity as well, and I know there are still some charities, but with overall society and the way that men do get portrayed, I don't feel it is much help at all. It could be a lot better than what it is.
I feel like a single man in this world, it is tough. It is tough, and it's like you don't get a lot, but I don't know. I've not actually put much thought into that. I think it's worse for people who are struggling, but society's worse for men. I'm just trying to think in what sense and for who, like what sort of.
Because I think like with men, they are meant to be seen as like tough, strong,
right? Okay,
respectful.
that makes sense.
The way society is, if you're it's considered like talking about your feelings, 100%. It's considered unmanly.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I think that even some women would tend to agree that actually, it is harder. Like I think there was a case where that woman dressed up as a bloke for a week and she ended up killing herself because she was pretending to be a woman, but she said her life was that hard that was that. So yeah, I guess so. But I think for people who are struggling, I don't think there's a lot of help out there for blokes.
No.
I really don't. And that's why I was interested with this charity, because I just read what they were doing and some of the testimonials, and I thought, wow, that's serious help.
So with the charities, like, did you find them or did they find you?
I contacted them.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that they're definitely making a positive impact. But for that question, yeah, I don't know.
I just feel like, to say
what do you think?
To say you're having, as a man, like personally, to say you're having a rough time or a hard time, it just gets considered unmanly. You do get sort of just sort of like the term, the whole term's like man up sort of thing.
Yeah.
In certain situations, I can understand.
I do feel like that's stigma, because it's everywhere now, isn't it? It's like speak up and all of this. But I think what they need to look at now is probably, yes, speak up, but to who?
Yeah,
so
find the right people.
I think that, I think you're right. I think you're definitely right there. But I think now we've said speak up, now it's to who? And then give somewhere to do that.
So I feel like with men being strong, like tough.
Yeah.
I feel like it shows a lot of strength as well to be able to talk about your feelings with someone, opening up.
I think so.
And like being able to
say, some people don't think that.
No, it's like.
And you've got to be careful sort of with that, because some people may use that against you, and it can damage, I don't know. I've definitely had it used against me, and it's damaged business or relationships, and people have been like, oh, no, get as far away from me as you can, but that's the real me. So, and I've got to a point where I'm just like, take it or leave it. But so, I guess that just proves your point. Yes, it is harder.
And then find the right people to be able to open up with as well. Like if you've got someone like, you got a friend and you're saying you're talking to them about all these things and they're sort of pushing it away. It's like, is that really a friend I want in my life?
100%.
And it's sort of
100%.
And then you start to create
support system. You need a support system, but finding that boundaries is not easy.
No, it's not. It's easy at all. Find the right people. That's why I feel like with you in the running, you've probably got a good group of people that you can go to as well.
Yeah, a different group of people that you'd probably go down the pub with. Yeah. So it's positive people. Yeah, definitely.
So, and then I've got something on here as well about talking when we're saying men opening up. So, according to the research, 1 in 10 men will experience anxiety and depression, yet less than half of them will receive treatment for it. And part of that is believed to be that men tend not to seek services because they're not fully aware of the emotions they're having.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like that could also, while men, again, find the right people, or just the term want to be strong, tough, it's also that they don't know why they're feeling the way they do. And so they don't want to seek help when they don't even know what they're seeking help for.
Well, if you rang to get some help on that and said, I've been feeling really anxious, really depressed, you'd probably have a 6-week wait on especially in Northampton. You'd have a 6-week wait, and they might have to call you back, and you could keep chasing them or whatever. And even if you said, I'm feeling suicidal, you'd probably have a 2-week wait. And even if you said you were going to do this and do that to get some help, you probably wouldn't get the help within 24 hours. By that time, you could have taken your own life.
Yeah.
So I understand why people don't call us, as well as the fact that they don't understand. It's the fact they're probably not going to get much seen to, much help. So, and I've experienced that as well. Like that's facts. That is how it works. You have to almost make out you're worse than what you are, which is a horrible thing to do, because that's when you start losing things like your job and people around you and things like that, because you've accepted that you're this low and all of that. So yeah, I think that there's a massive dent that needs filling, and there's not much help.
No,
especially if you say that you've got anxiety, depression. They just look at that and tick boxes, and you don't fill them boxes. Yeah.
So you can wait like 6 weeks as well for just if you need help. It's awful.
Yeah,
like want that. I understand maybe not get it straight. You need, because there's a lot of people going through it. You may not be able to get it literally instantly, but to wait 6 weeks for that, it shows that something's really wrong with the system in place. I get it. Maybe I don't feel like they're too busy for you. I feel like maybe they'll feel like it will go away at the same time as well. Maybe
I think they're so sure that that's not going to happen. Like I've been in places that, and I've tried to explain that I'm feeling this way and that way. I suppose they were right, because it didn't happen again. And I'm glad. But
it's still taking a chance.
Still taking a massive gamble on someone's life, like that. Someone's life at the end of the day. So yeah, there's definitely a few. It's so hard, isn't it? Because I'm not saying that it's hard for them. I'm just saying it's sort of what can they do? Because even the help they do offer, it's not great. It's really not great. And I don't know what more they can offer really, because they can send people to your house, but even then it's quite intrusive, and they're trying to fill boxes, and you can meet with a psychiatrist, they could wrongly diagnose you, and it all revolves around the tablets, and they just want you on them really.
Yeah.
For a chemical imbalance that I don't know. I'm not a professional.
No.
I'm just saying from my experience that they're not as helpful as they probably should be, and especially the helplines. I really don't find that useful. But if it's helped other people, then brilliant.
So next thing I want to say about mental health as well with men, over a third of men, so around 37%, say that social media has a negative impact on how they feel. So what's your thoughts on that with your experience?
Gosh, I wish that I didn't need it for work. I wish I didn't need it for work. And again, it's something that I've recently enjoyed, because it's like putting stuff out there, getting reactions. But then when you don't get them reactions, it's like, whoa, it's like, do you know what I mean? So I can fully understand that. And it's that constant, like, I don't know, you've got this phone in your hand and you literally like, you're waiting for people to tap the screen. It's just nuts, isn't it? And I can fully understand there's so much pressure. That's what it is. It's pressure.
Yeah.
And you've got to look a certain way. You've got to do this in front of people that don't give a shit about you, and you don't really care about them.
No.
So it's like, I can fully understand that. And there are a lot more pressures, especially like as a man today. I think you need a lot as a man now to have the life that, say, 50 years ago, 70 years ago, that you didn't back then. I think you have to have so much more as a man now to be attractive or to be considered successful, or you need a lot more now than you did back then. Personally, that's how I see it.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I do actually think that. Not trying to sound like Andrew Tate, but that's that. Yeah, I do think that's true.
I do agree as well. It's the way society has gone now with social media. It's like people chasing for likes, and if they don't get them, they feel shit.
Yeah,
and they feel like, why isn't anyone liking it? Why isn't anyone liking it? It's like, and then people try and work out the algorithms. Like, I need to post on this time because that's when all these people post. And then you'll see other people, like all these like famous people, like influencers, doing like half their photos are probably Photoshop and edited. And they're like, man, I can never look like that. It's like, well, if you use Photoshop like they do, you probably would do. Yeah,
spent a lot of money. Yeah, it's not real.
That's the thing. That's the problem. It's not real. No, and a lot of people, especially like just average people like us, when we see people, we see all these like celebrities or like influencers, and like, I can't look like that, or I'm just this. It's like, but you're not gonna look like that. And some people just think like, I always find it with like fitness people, like when they show off like their muscles, abs, and stuff like the 6 packs, something like that, and you're looking at like, I'll never look like that. It's like, Yeah, you're your own person. You're not going to look like that. You look like how you will look.
You're not going to. Yeah.
If you work hard and train as much as you want, you won't look like that because you're not 100%. The same physique. You're not the same person.
Yeah.
As much as you want to look like them facially as well, you're a different person. Like you can't just chase something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's the problem with, I think. It's just people want them likes to feel validated. 100%. They want the comments and they feel worthy, but they don't even, like you said before, they don't even know who they are. They don't know who they are in the real world.
Yeah, it's true.
It could be like a catfish person. Like you don't know, but
the way not real life, is it?
No, and the way social media has gone now, there are some positives as well. Maybe being able to reconnect with old friends, something like that. But
I get sucked in as well. Like,
that's the problem.
I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of feeling like I have to show this, that, and whatever.
For your business, it's a bit different though.
That's different, but on my personal, I don't need a personal account. Like, there's no need for that. It's almost like a dating app, isn't it? It's ridiculous. It's like you're trying to show people what you are, who you are, and it's like, gosh, it's not real life, and that's that. So
it's funny because they'll look at your pictures or anything like that. And you could find someone amazing, like this amazing woman. Yeah. Like you love all the photos and everything like that. But when you actually speak to her, get to know her in person, you're like, nah, what the fuck's going on? Like this isn't for me at all. I was completely wrong about it. Yeah. But I was chasing after something I thought existed, but it didn't. And that's the problem.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I definitely think that isn't helping anyone.
No.
It's not helping anyone.
You need to just remember that majority of what people you see on social media is just fake. It's not
completely
real.
False.
And people only look their best. They have to they'll spend hours and hours making it, getting the right angle for a photo. It's
like showing the best bits, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And people won't show the worst bits because again, they're afraid of what people are going to say about judging them, which again, like we go back to stoicism, you can't control what other people think, so you shouldn't bother in the first place. I know it's hard.
I'm guilty of that as well.
It's hard to do it.
Definitely guilty of that. Yeah.
People want that validation. And I guess that comes back to having an ego. Like people have an ego. They want the validation from people. Yeah. But as much as you want, you can't please everyone. So you shouldn't try. Yeah. And you can't control how they feel. So you just got to control how you feel. And then it is tough. I do get it. For some people, it is really tough to do. And
I like that.
No one's perfect.
Yep.
So you shouldn't try in the first place to try and be perfect because you're reaching something that never exists. Like, again, we said earlier, it's a journey, it's a process. We can keep getting better every day.
Of course.
And that's all we can really ask for, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
So the next point I wanted to get into, which is obviously the main part of this, when we talk about suicide and suicide prevention. Yeah. So obviously I know your experience with it. I wanted to, something I should have touched on earlier, but you mentioned about obviously being on the car park on top of it and you thought about doing it.
Yeah.
So what stopped you? 'Cause obviously you said you had the thoughts and you stepped back from it.
Yeah.
So what happened there?
Tell you what, before we start, can I quickly go to the toilet? Is that
yeah, mate. Go ahead. Yeah.
No problem at all. No, we're all good. No, I'll...
Well, this bit will be edited out anyway.
No, that's fine.
It's all right.
That's perfect. Thank you. Whereabouts is it?
Literally just on the left out there.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Cheers, mate.
There shouldn't be any paint on that.
That's all good. No problem.
Stuart will edit this out. Hopefully. All good?
Yep.
Sorry, I should have asked you first before we started. Sorry.
You're all good. I was dying. Thank you. No,
That's
yeah.
all right.
Right, let's go.
Nice one. Yes, Stuart, we can go from here.
Perfect. Let's do it.
All good, yeah?
Cool.
Nice one. So, if you want to go through your story about the car park and you stepping back from it.
Yeah. So the one thing that obviously stopped me was was drunk at the time, heavily drunk. And I took a video, I think, and this is what I've been told. Took a video, put it on Instagram, again, social media, and probably saying a load of rubbish in that. And that definitely brought a lot of people probably ringing me. I think I had a phone call up there as well. Not that would have stopped me, but I had phone calls, and then the police came. And the one thing that stopped me was, I'll never get this out of my mind, although I don't remember a lot, was my mum and my pap. I was like hanging off, and I remember seeing them down there, drove past, and I remember seeing them, and then they waved up. And then I thought, no matter what state you're in or whatever, that is not nice. No. That was tough. That was really tough. And then I spoke to the police because I was still up there, and I thought, God, I know what happens now. Like they pretend they care. I know there's this whole routine again. I thought, because when that sunk in, I thought this isn't going to happen. I'm not actually going to do this now. And it was a cry for help, massive cry for help. And I spoke to the police, and then that was probably the worst thing I could have done, because I spoke to the police, and then the way I spoke to them, I think that sort of stopped me getting the help that I probably needed. Because I spoke to them, I explained whatever's gone on. I just said, look, I'm not a fucking nutcase. I've got a lot going on, struggling, really struggling. And then from there, they sort of took me, I sort of climbed back over. And as soon as you do that, I got arrested. They arrest you, and I got fined.
Fine.
Which is nuts thinking about it. Like now I can look back and think, what on earth? But for disturbing the peace, that's what it was. No, public disturbance, I think it was, which is just, ridiculous. But it was, but they either done that or sectioned you. And they told my parents that I was going to get sectioned, and that didn't happen. And I think that was to do with probably how I spoke to them and whatever. But yeah, and I spent the night in the cell. And then I remember speaking to the police commissioner or whatever. I don't know what they are, but she was lovely, and she said, look, I don't agree with the decision we had to make, but because it ticked the boxes. Again, ticking the boxes, and that's it. That's all it is. And then, so that's what got me down. Seeing my mum and my pap, which I think they've probably forgiven me now for, but it was tough. It was tough. And then from there, it was just a massive rebuild. Yeah. Yeah, that was really tough. So yeah. Gosh, and it took about 3 or 4 days, and I still spent time on my own in them days to then go to that next place. So there was so many options at that time to then do it again.
Yeah.
But what I put my family through, that I was never going to do that again. Yeah. As much as I would have wanted to at the time, I felt so bad.
Did you speak to your mum afterwards? Shortly afterwards?
Yeah, I think it definitely affected her more than it would affect anyone as a mum. But yeah, that was tough, mum. So I did speak to her. She was just trying to get the help because she worked in the NHS. So she was just trying to get the help that I needed. I think she was quite upset with the police because they promised her that this was going to happen, this protocol, whatever, and it never happened. So, but luckily, whatever route that I did go down, it was tough, but I'm here now. So, and I'm happy. So yeah,
that's good.
There we are. Yeah,
as long as you're happy, that's the main thing.
That's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So with suicide, like when we talk about it, it's like it is the biggest killer of men, aged between 21 and 45.
Yeah, I can fully understand that.
The problem is no one seems to be talking about it. You don't see much being talked about. You don't hear much
like
being
the
talked
word, do they?
No, suicide seems to really put people off, and it's like
that's it. And that's what I love about this charity, because they're big on speaking about it, but in the right way. They're big on speaking about that word, the S word, and it's like it needs to be said.
Definitely,
it's not just about men's mental health, because that's such a vague thing. Like it's the suicide, it needs to be spoken about. It
needs to be talked about,
Like feelings you've got, they're all valid. And that's where it needs to be spoken about more. Which is why I really like that charity. Like it's it engaged me because I thought, wow, no one really likes that word.
No.
As soon as you say that word, it's like, oh, do you know what I mean?
People sort of like shy away or just like, I don't want to get involved in that.
Yeah,
And
man.
it's like, it's a serious matter. Like, why aren't people talking about it? It's like the stats I've got on here. It's like, so men account for, again, I'm talking from a men's point of view because
of course,
how we talk about females.
Yep.
So men account for 3/4 to 75% of all suicides. On average, more than 13 men a day take their own life. Like,
that's awful.
And that's something that we don't talk about. And talking about addictions as well, 79% of drug-related deaths are male. And then men also commit suicide due to alcohol-related causes at 62,000 in comparison to women at 26,000.
Wow.
And the research from 2019 shows that the number of men experiencing suicidal thoughts has doubled since 2009. And again, no one is talking about this.
Wow.
No one seems to, like I say, people shy away, push away. They don't want to get involved in the word suicide. And the problem with these stats is they reinforce the notion that males are less likely to seek help and are more likely than women to turn to dangerous, unhealthy behaviors. Yeah. So it's really getting to the core of that. Like you said, talking about the feelings, expressing yourself, the thoughts, your feelings you haven't, getting to the root cause of these. But as soon as you mention the word suicide, nope, we don't want to get involved in that. Sorry, you're going to have to go somewhere else.
That goes for people around you as well. People will push that away, or just throw the Samaritan's number at you, or just throw all these numbers and say, look, ring that. It's not as easy as that. And even if you do, like I said, when you do get the help, it's not always as helpful.
Sometimes, like you say, it makes it worse as well.
Yeah. And that's why I feel very lucky that
you found that charity.
Yeah, found that charity, and also just overcome it with, I don't know, myself and the support of everyone around me. But sort of eventually it was me. Yeah.
As I say, it definitely is you. Because like, as much as people help you,
that's it.
There's like maybe some close friends or family or the charity in particular. As much as they help you, at the end of the day, they're not the ones controlling the thoughts in your mind, the feelings. It's all on the power is within you. Like the book, The Power. Like it's your thoughts create your reality, and so you're the one that's got to be in control of the thoughts and feelings you're having.
Now, just to be clear, that charity, I only found them recently. They didn't help me, but I would have loved them to. I would have loved to have found them.
Even more point to you doing it yourself then.
But I would have loved to have found them, and I can't wait to sort of get it out there, and hopefully they can help more. I don't think they're a small charity, so they don't have all the funding, which is even more of a reason why I'd like to raise some money.
No, it's really good of you to do that. I definitely want to. I'd like to get them on here at some point as well. I think that's something we'll
definitely. I'm sure they'd be very interested.
I'll mention their details on here because obviously people that, like I say, people that can touch and relate to this, I definitely want them to get involved in that. So,
definitely.
I would like to reach out to them
because them stats are important. Shocking, man. Shocking.
It's awful, absolutely awful. And no one, like we said, no one talks about this. No one really wants to talk about it. And it's a shame with, like, I understand with certain, I don't know what you want to call them, like clinics or whatever, avoiding it. But even with your close friends, when you talk about it and they just sort of shy away and something like that, it just shows you that, are you really as close as we thought we were? Like, I can't even come to you about this. It's like, if I can't come to who I thought were my best friends or close friends, who can I really go to? Because talking to a complete stranger, sometimes you don't want to do that. You feel really uncomfortable. You might push away or hide some of your feelings or thoughts you're having. So you want that close friend or you want that family member to be able to go to. And as soon as you mention that word, they're like, nope, you need to go do this. You need to go speak to the Samaritans or something like that. And 100%. They just push it away. So obviously, I know you've only sort of worked with them recently, the charity, got in touch with them as well. So what's been your experience like with them? What have you met, like been to them in person or
no? Just literally let them know that I'm going to be doing this run. Pick their charity, had a little look through what they do and everything, and I thought, wow, that's brilliant.
Are they Northampton based?
No, London. And I thought, I think they're growing, but they're quite a smaller charity. And I thought, wow, that'd be brilliant to get them on board. And it's men's minds matter. Do you know what I mean? It says exactly to the point.
Yeah.
And it's a suicide prevention charity, which is completely what I'm trying to raise the funds for. So
that's incredible.
And they literally hit the nail on the head. It needs to be spoke about. It needs to be dealt with. And and I think that's quite powerful, really. There's not a lot else out there that does that.
No.
So yeah, no, it's good.
Especially for the men's, because I've said before, women can go, they're more comfortable speaking to their friends about it. They can, I feel like there is more for them. People can, say otherwise and say it's just equal. But from a man's point of view, from a male's point of view, it definitely doesn't feel like that. So yeah, I really like that charity. It sounds like they're doing some really good work there, and it sounds it's definitely important work. It really is important work for what I've just said about the stats in particular. I mean, I hate to reiterate it, but 13 men a day, it's awful. Like it's really awful. And with the stat earlier,
I didn't realize that. No, I didn't even know that.
This I think this was from maybe not this year. I think it was last year, but people can double check it and everything like that.
Wow.
But it's definitely, I always see it. I think it's like 500,000 people, 500,000 males a year as well take their own life. It's something that when you say it like that, it really puts things into perspective. Like
100%.
This needs to be talked about. It really does need to be talked about. The next point I want to talk about,
of course,
is so obviously with everything you've gone through with the suicide prevention as well. So what was the main thing you felt helped you overcome the suicidal thoughts? What was them? Obviously, you talk about yourself and your own mindset, but what do you feel outside of that really helps you? I know you mentioned The Power, the book as well.
I haven't had those thoughts for a long time. Touch wood. I haven't had those thoughts for a long time. I think I've probably, there's probably 12 things, but the running has obviously helped that. Having the main probably thing is having a purpose and having that light at the end of the tunnel, and you can make that yourself, but having something to work towards. So now I've got to constantly have something to work towards, and I'd rather do that than, I think when I'm not having a purpose and when I'm not actually focusing on anything and when I'm not doing anything, that is when I plummet, and that is when I seek abuse, drug abuse, drink abuse. That is when I seek those, they call them pleasures, but they're not pleasures. That's when I seek that sort of stuff. But I think I need something to work on. I think I need a goal, like it's not like an end destination. I need those challenges and things. That's what probably took away my suicidal thoughts and thought, right, how do I change that? We're here, we may as well enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? So that's probably that. Yeah.
It's interesting you say that, because I've got something on here as well about how from Adam Lane Smith, who's for those who don't know, is a therapist, but he talks about how if you give a man a purpose and the ability to achieve it, and he will crawl over broken glass with a smile. And it's how a man is sort of meant to deal with the suffering. Like we are designed to suffer and we're designed to deal with that suffering, but it has to be in service of something. That's why we need a purpose in life. It's
positive suffering.
Yeah. And it's, again, it's that sort of, we've got to strive for something. We need that purpose, a goal, an aim. And we're able to get through something like with the running, the marathon. You've got to get to the end of it. You're prepared to go through that suffering beforehand in order to reach that purpose, that goal, that aim. Yeah. And it's really, really interesting you say that, because I do feel like it's true. We need it. We're happy to do, we can go through so much shit. Like even with going to gym, if you've got a goal of adding on 10 kg or something like that, you're prepared to go through that pain, that suffering, the thoughts. Yeah. You might thoughts of giving up.
100%.
As long as you've got that purpose or goal in mind,
100%.
You will go after it.
Yeah. I just struggle when I've reached that goal. That's where
you got to think what's
next.
That's
where I struggle, because then I'm like, for a good couple of weeks, my head's a bit gone, but I'll always pull it back and get back on track. But yeah, I do struggle when I've reached a goal. I do actually struggle with that. Yeah.
So do you also feel like this is from, I don't know if it's there or not. Oh, from Atomic Habits. It talks about also having the systems in place for you. Right. Do you reckon you have systems like a routine, for example? Do you reckon you have a good routine?
I'd say so. I'd say it comes in waves. I think when I'm working on something, brilliant routine, but there's definitely a stage after where I'm a little bit and I struggle. But yeah, I'd say I just need to be busy. I just have to be busy, but find that balance as well. And that's so routine. It's a busy routine, but there is routine. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, because when we talk about Atomic Habits, when he talks about, for example, like I said before, if you have a 10 kg, you want to gain gym, they'll have the goal in place. And as soon as they've reached that goal, it will just stop. It will fall off. The gym will fall off.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'd say the routine lasts only so long, and then I find a new routine, and then to whatever goal I'm trying to chase. So currently it's working a lot on the shop and smashing that out. And then soon it will be about the running and finding a balance between the work at the shop and then the running. Yeah. So it'll be a different routine, probably a healthier one, to be honest. But yeah.
It's interesting. So one more point. Well, I've got a few more points, but just on this.
Cool. Yeah.
So what advice would you give to someone who's dealing with mental health or suicidal thoughts? I know you can't. I know you're gonna say like you're not a doctor or anything like that.
I'm
but
definitely
just,
not a doctor. Yeah.
Just from your understanding, from what you've gone through, what advice would you give to someone?
Well, without sounding too cliche or too cringe, anything like that.
No, it's okay.
There's one song that does resonate with that, Elvis, and it's "If I Can Dream," and it's all about a man who, it says, if I can walk, if I can talk, if I can dream. As long as a man has a dream, then he will rise up and shine, and you just keep dreaming. Just literally, just use your mind, focus, and just have a bit of faith, and just keep dreaming that things will get better. And that's probably my biggest advice. And you can dream on your own. So if you have no one there, you can still do that. And I've spent a lot of time on my own and sitting there with those thoughts, and that was the one thing that got me through where I could be. Yeah. And just really use your mind, and if you've got that in your mind, if you can see it up there, then you can have it down here. And that's probably what I would say to that.
Oh, how you said that. It reminded me of the Conor McGregor quote as well. He's like, if you can see it in here, you can believe it out there. Or something like that. Like if you can literally, like you say, with The Secret and The Power, in two books, like it's manifesting it. It's like if you've got something in here, you can create it out here. It's like the only thing stopping you is you.
100%.
Is that, it's kind of this.
But like I say, I'm not a doctor. I have to keep saying that. But
kind of a similar question, really. I probably should just put this in one, but it's, what would you tell your younger self? If you could go back a few years to when you first, like 16, 17, what would you tell yourself? What advice? What would you tell yourself going through all of that?
It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Yep. 100%. That's what I'd say. 100%. It's going to be all right. Yeah.
Interesting how much your mindset as well has changed since then as well. It's like the amount you've gone through, like the journey you've gone through to get to where you are now. It's like, it's like, what's it? I can't remember. What's it? I can't remember the quote right now off the top of my head, but like, I guess a similar analogy I can use is you've got in order for like the plants to grow, you need that rain. You can't just have the light. You need the bad and the good. You need the good times and the bad times. And I feel like the bad times, the suffering shows you who you really are, what kind of person 100%. You want to be. 100%. And like with you, like you've come back from them, you've gone stronger from them mentally, physically. Yeah. Like you can really look at all of that and just say, look, I've made it through all this. It's like nothing can stop me now. Like nothing can. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. Like, and I've said it before, but like you've got to be proud of that. You've got to be really proud of where you've come from, where you are now. Like I'm sure you're just going to keep smashing it, especially with the running business as well, with the barbers. He's going to keep smashing it.
Thank you very much.
Obviously, I know you hope so. Yeah, I'm sure you will. And like going through everything we talked about, like the last thing, a quote I've got on here that I sort of did myself. It's like being trapped alone in your mind is one of the hardest things you will ever have to go through.
100%.
But it's also important to remember that you're not truly alone. I think there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And sometimes it's like you could be in a crowded room with people, but you still feel alone. Whereas if you're on your own in the room, you are alone, like lonely. Yep. There's a difference between that. Alone, like you don't have the same mindset as everyone else maybe. And you feel like you're quite rare, but we're all rare and we're all unique in our own ways as well. Like we've got to sort of embrace that. You don't want to sort of fit in with the crowd for the sake of fitting in. You got to sort of, like you've done with the running, you got to find what crowd suits you.
100%.
And the people that you may go for a drink with aren't necessarily the people that you can go for a run with or share 100%. Your feelings with. Like you've got to find them little cliques. You've got to find them groups that you can resonate with. But again, like for everything we've talked about, for anyone watching this as well, like don't just sit there alone with your thoughts. Like, please do reach out to family, friends, charities, or even one of us too, if you want to. I'm sure you don't mind as well.
100%.
Like, for anyone
100%.
watching this now, like,
definitely.
there is no shame in asking for that help.
Yeah.
It shows strength. It shows courage that you can do that. You can reach out to someone, and definitely do it if you are feeling any sort of type of thoughts, negative thoughts. Like, it really is important. Like, again, like I said with Paddy the Baddy, it's good. You can cry on our shoulder, talk to us. It's better than us crying a week later,
100%.
like carrying your coffin or anything like that. So yeah, anyone watching this, do please reach out.
I like that, Sam. Yeah.
So any last thoughts from yourself? Anything you want to say?
Thank you for having me on. It's,
no, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, I've never done anything like this, and I hope it gets a positive reaction.
I'm sure. But I'm sure.
Yeah,
I really do appreciate
pleasure.
you coming on and speaking your story.
Thank you.
It really means a lot.
I'm happy to talk about it. Yeah, thank you.
No,
cheers for that, mate. Pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Sam.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks, Tom. Till next time.